weiß Bescheid.
Welcome to the most forward-thinking, inspirational podcast on the planet. Prepare to reevaluate everything you've been taught.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mental Mastery Alliance podcast. Today, I am coming to you live from the nation's capital, Ottawa, Canada. It's been a long time since I've done an episode, probably about 2-3 weeks. And a lot of that has to do with sort of like a reprogramming, I don't want to say rebranding because that's not it. It's a reprogramming, reconstituting, re-understanding. It's like everything that's going on is overwhelming. And I kind of just had to take a minute to, I don't know, I think that the term would be like stay relevant. And that seems like a strange thing to say. But I mean, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at everything, I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing the world play its part and do its thing. I see my role in this. I see so much going on. And it's weird. It's weird to be in a position where it was once clear as to what you stood for or stood against. And then the more you kind of wake up into certain things, the more you see certain patterns in the world, the more you see the aggressions of everything virtually on every side. You don't want to maintain the same style. Or it's not that you don't want to maintain it, it's that you can't maintain it. It's that you can't maintain the same opinion. And that's kind of, I think, where I am. And I think that I'm in a spot where it's fascinating to, I don't want to say witness your opinion change, but witness your opinion and your position become weaponized. And how do I explain that? That's like, I'm looking at, for example, I'm looking at all of these coaches in this realm and in this reality with all of their cookie cutter courses. And I think to myself, you know, I know that this works for some people, but I know that moving forward, we've got so many things happening in this world, so many amazing breakthroughs that are going to help people and so many other crazy things that are going to be absurd, almost borderline absurd. And I'm talking about AI, of course, AI writing, AI, deep fake technology, all this sort of stuff. I've maintained for the longest time, money's not real. Money's an agreement. I mean, even to the point where people are talking about how time isn't real and time is a construct. That's the kind of stuff that I'm seeing right now. Like when time is a construct, there are things that you don't want to talk about. there are things that you sort of want to advance into. And I don't ever want to leave anyone behind. And I don't ever want to do anything. And I don't ever want to have anything that ever came across ever as cookie cutter. And I see this stuff and I see everything going on and I get frustrated. I'm like, how am I supposed to see, or how am I supposed to consider myself inside the environment that I disagree with? I disagree with the majority of the coaches in this industry. And I'm not saying that I'm better than them or anything like that. I'm certainly just different. I know that everybody has their place and every position has its desired outcome, its result. I know that for every person that's willing to help, there's somebody who needs that type and that brand of help. I look at all this stuff, I look around me, I look at sort of what's going on, and I think to myself, am I pretentious by saying and thinking these things that I may or may not want to do? Or could I be perceived any certain way? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of over how I may be perceived because I know fully that I operate with integrity. So if anybody does want to attack me, I'm aware now that anybody that does attack me is basically just somebody who's experiencing their own kind of brand of trauma that they're then projecting onto me. Because I don't speak anymore with any sort of harsher or personal tone. And I know that because I used to. In my younger days, when I felt I had something to prove, when I was still very much coming out of the shell of the third dimensional disarray, I was very much, again, damaged myself. So I was attacking to sort of not necessarily express to people. And this is one of those things. You're not expressing to people that they're wrong and utilizing their points in this position. For me personally, I was just of the opinion that I was right, and that if I'm right, they then must be wrong, and I must put a stop to their wrongness, thinking, and being. And that, in and of itself, is something that changes. Something that drastically changes the more you understand that every single person is having an experience. Therefore, every single person in this reality is right about what they're talking about. Therefore, the people that are arguing are both correct. And yet somewhere along the lines, the argument went from I need to be right, or I need to show this person, it's not that I need to be right, I need to show this person why they're wrong, to I need to be right, to all this other stuff. Meanwhile, what got lost was the ideology or the thought process or the path and pattern of how you got to where you are. I do apologize if the sound is a little bit off or weird today. I am using my mobile gear, which is a beautiful little Shure MV7. I'm not plugging anything. It's just the equipment that I use while on the road, and just a little Asus laptop. So this is a little bit of a different sound, but I'm getting used to it myself as I'm speaking. And I'm also in a hotel room. Great view. I'm looking out over the wonderful cityscape that is Ottawa, the Ottawa River. Beautiful. This message that we create, this idea, this essence, this place that we live, is different for everyone. This place is the culmination of your experience. This world is, the way you view this world is a direct result of everything that you've been influenced by in this world. Which means that everything is different for everybody, and everybody has a different take and different opinion and different spot. But everybody's correct. So I look at all this stuff and I see these worlds, and I see the media just doing this insane job of confusing everybody. And it's to the point where, yes, I could talk about the Ohio catastrophe, or I could talk about all the other train derailments, 4 or 5 from my last count, in the past month alone. I can talk about how it appears that America's under attack. I could, by I don't know who, but I'm seeing so many things burned down. If you look into the past, you can see all of our food processing plants burning down. You can see all of our food lands being poisoned. You can see connections between movies, i.e. White Noise, and the train derailment in Ohio. You can see Joe Biden saying it's okay to not wear a mask, or the air is safe. The air is safe in Ohio. Meanwhile, the air isn't safe in the middle of the forest. You could spread COVID by breathing. Yeah, I mean, there was a point where I had to defend the COVID, or talk about the COVID, or talk about this. And then you see all of these banners. You see that the AI bots can scan my episodes and be like, there's a COVID warning on any time that I've mentioned the word COVID. You can see that the entire universe is focusing on COVID, right? They made it a global thing. They can get vaccines to absolutely everybody in the world. No matter where you are in the world, you can get a vaccine, but you still can't get a square meal. You can put all this stuff together. You can tie it all together, or you can say that, there's Looney Tunes going on. I look at this shit in tune. Earlier I talked about the coaching world. It's something that I will get into. It's something that I'm going to move into. There's going to be a nice arc on this whole thing for probably the next at least 4 or 5 episodes. The episodes are coming back, ladies and gentlemen. To those listening, this was a bit of a break. I definitely needed to clear my head, and there will be a continuation. We're back. 2 weeks hiatus. But that again is to stay relevant. And this is something that, that I read not too long ago, like right in the middle of all this, it's a matter of staying relevant in a time that's going to forever change. And I do not want to be another talking head, nor do I want to be anyone that's on any one side. Do I have any political leanings? I can't even say that I do, because all politics are brainwashing and manipulating. So when you don't want to talk about politics other than to utilize the platform that they've given you to demonstrate how the system in and of itself, the illusion of reality, how it's a part of that, then yeah, I'm interested. There's so much to talk about. There's so many things out there that are just an inch beyond what we've ever been able to experience, what we've ever been able to think about, see, contemplate. The things that we're arguing about right now are 100% all distraction. And my biggest focal point right now is finding out what they're distracting us from. And before, I would have had an answer to that. I would have known they're distracting from this, from that, from the other thing. But even the things that I could think that they're distracting us from, that's also part of the illusion. My biggest thing right now definitely is getting to the bottom of it. Now, I know that that's a huge thing and that everybody's part of that and everybody wants to get to the bottom of it. And I'm not unique in this sense. And I understand that. And I appreciate and applaud. But I am very much looking forward to being able to discuss points outside of the realm, utilizing the realm, but discussing points outside of the realm of anything we've been allowed to talk about, which is going to segregate me from a lot of the audience. Not you guys, but I mean the general audience. When we're gonna start pushing the Instagram this way as well, because I can't not do it. I simply can't not do it. I can't live in this reality. I can't play this game, and I can't play it the way I need to play it by not being aware and raising my consciousness by speaking on it. Every single thing that we talk about, every single thing that we do and promote and push is this personal thing. It's personal. This whole experience is personal. This personal podcast right now at this moment is personal. I get to share with you guys what it is that I'm thinking and feeling. And I get to put that out there into this podcast. And this podcast isn't going to be a long one. It's just going to be, it's just letting you guys know that we're still here. We're still here and we're working on big things because I want bigger. I want more. I want to stay relevant. And that doesn't mean I want to stay trendy. It means now's the time that I might start sounding even crazier. Well, I'll definitely sound crazier to anyone that's never put a tinfoil hat on. I put this, the last meme I posted on the Instagram account, Instagram.com/The Mental Mastery Alliance. You get to a point where more knowledge is not what you need, but instead more intentional action on the knowledge you already have. And this past couple of weeks, I have been very intentional. There has been many things that I've dismissed and moved on from and put behind me. There's been many personal connections that I've slid to the left. There's been many business connections that no longer serve the need of what we're doing. And I don't know how to explain that without being rude, because I don't want to be rude. I have no intention of being rude. I appreciate and applaud every single person that we've ever interacted with, because it got us to where we are. I'm just ready and letting everybody know that we're going to be moving. Well, we're moving. We're moving in a higher direction. I could have just sort of not had this episode, but I think that it needed to be said. I think that there's a lot of stuff that needs to be said. I think that there's a lot of things that I'm looking at in this world, in this reality, that is confusing me from the free thinker standpoint, from the conspiracy theorist standpoint, from the mindset motivational standpoint, from a business standpoint. I'm looking at all this stuff going, there's a pattern here that I'm just not seeing. And it's making itself more and more and more and more abundant and more clear. And it's inside this pattern that I know a beautiful future lies, because there is so much chaos, organized chaos happening right now. And all of us, each and every one of us, can say, I know it's this because it's this. But the truth is, all we can do is speculate based on the information that we already have. And all of that information that we already have is corrupt. And I say that because I firmly believe that the conspiracy theories or the things that they've allowed us to talk about in the mainstream, for example, are all a certain thing. And then the majority of the conspiracy theories that we've been allowed to talk about are also a certain thing. Why does the news allow certain things? Why do leaks happen? Why is this all something? I listen to certain podcasts. I hear them talking about certain things. I listen to certain news medias, and everyone's got, in my opinion, everyone's got a piece of something, but they're continuing on by pushing a different narrative. So it's like truth, narrative snuck in, or piece broken or piece forgotten, right? One of the things that I've said from the beginning is I don't believe the whole follow the money trail, because I believe that the people behind this are the ones that invented money. So if we're following the money, that's a misguided trail. If we're on a misguided trail, we're not following the purpose. I 100% believe that everything here falls back into a spirituality dissonance, a spirituality vibration. But I don't want it to sound wishy-washy or woo-woo juju, because that's not the case at all. The experience that we're having, and this is something that I absolutely mandatorily must speak on, the fact that you're listening to the fact that your life has led you to where you are right now, sitting here listening to this show. Every single thing that you've done, even if you have a twin sibling, every single thing that you've done is 100% unique. The culmination of everything that you've done is uniquely you, which means that none of us are having the same experience, but all of us seem to be here. And this is the key to me. The biggest talking point and the biggest thing that I want to circle around moving forward are the pieces that are involved with where we are, what this is. And that to me is the biggest thing. So every single conspiracy theory I've ever talked about has been beautiful. And it's made me ask questions. It's made me ask one question, two questions, more questions. It's made me want to know. And here I am not being able to talk about the things that even, that the things that will catch and pop and be trendy and create great headlines. I want to talk about the power of all of it. And that's where we're headed. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is still the Mental Mastery Alliance. And I still want you guys to check us out. Come over to the Instagram. Come check us out there. If you want to work with us, head over to the mentalmasteryalliance.com. Coaching with TMMA. Request to guest. You can still request to have us on your show or for us to be on your show. And if you've sent a request in the past 2 weeks, I do apologize. They haven't been checked. The best thing you can do is send another request. So head over to requestttoguest.com if you want us on your show or if you want to come on this show. That would be the easiest thing for you. If you're interested in working with us, coaching with TMMA, a quick questionnaire over there, see if we're a good fit for each other, and then we'll get on the phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to say that we're going in I don't want to say a new direction. We're just going in the same direction we've always gone in, but it is more clear to me where we're going. It's more clear to the guys that I'm working with and the trends that we want to start pushing and the narratives that we want to start speaking on. There's something afoot, ladies and gentlemen. There's something brewing. And it's going to be exciting to sort of watch this play out, to speak on it, to get closer to it, to touch it, taste it, feel it. Something big is on the horizon, and all the little things, they play a part, but there's so much more to it. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, in the infamous words of Red Green, keep your stick on the ice.
Thank you for listening to today's Mental Mastery Alliance podcast. Let the team know you're listening by using the hashtag MMA and Mental Mastery Alliance. Want more motivation? Be sure to follow online on Instagram at Mental Mastery Alliance and on Facebook at Mental Mastery Alliance. And remember, your perception creates your reality. Make it a great day.
You got it, Pontiac.